Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to the detailed lecture series on UGC Net English. In the previous class, we discussed the novel The English Teacher, written by the famous Indian English writer R.K. Narayan. And into this class, we have the topic, the biography of the famous Victorian poet Alfred Lord Tennyson. Alfred Lord Tennyson, 1809 to 1892. Born in 1809, passed away in 1892. Alfred Lord Tennyson is also called Alfred Tennyson or First Baron Tennyson. T.S. Eliot described Tennyson as the saddest among all English poets. So remember, T.S. Eliot described Alfred Lord Tennyson as the saddest poet among all the English poets. Tennyson belonged to a middle-class family, even though his ancestors had noble and royal blood. Tennyson was born in Lincolnshire. It is in England. And Tennyson's parents are his father, George Clayton Tennyson, and his mother, Elizabeth. Tennyson's wife was Emily Selwood. Tennyson wrote a 6,000-line epic work in imitation of Sir Walter Scott, and he did it at the age of 12. One of his most excellent youthful models was Lord Byron. At the age of 14, Tennyson wrote a play titled The Devil and the Lady. This play was an imitation of Elizabethan comic verse. Tennyson went to Trinity College, Cambridge. At Cambridge, Tennyson met the poet Arthur Henry Hallam. And this person, Arthur Henry Hallam, was betrothed to Tennyson's sister. So Tennyson's sister was supposed to marry Arthur Henry Hallam, but Henry Hallam died unexpectedly. When Hallam died suddenly after suffering a cerebral hemorrhage, Tennyson wrote the poem In Memoriam A.H.H. When Tennyson's father died, he had to leave Cambridge before taking his degree. In spite of everything, at the age of 41, Tennyson had established himself as the most popular poet of the Victorian era. Tennyson was the poet laureate from 1850 to 1892, succeeding William Wordsworth during much of Queen Victoria's reign. Queen Victoria reigned in England from 1837 to 1901. So after the death of William Wordsworth, Tennyson got the position of poet laureate. And until his death, he served in that position. Tennyson held the position until his own death in 1892. So Tennyson is the longest tenure of any laureate. any poet laureate. Queen Victoria told Tennyson that his poem In Memoriam AHH brought great comfort at the grief of Prince Albert's death. Tennyson, through this poem, that means In Memoriam AHH, gave us the phrase, Nature read in tooth and claw. Nature read in tooth and claw. In 1829, Tennyson was awarded the Chancellor's Golden Medal at Cambridge for one of his first pieces titled Timbuktu. Coleridge said of Tennyson's work that Tennyson had begun to write poetry without knowing what meter was. Samuel Taylor Coleridge says about Tennyson that Tennyson had begun to write poetry without knowing what meter was. In 1884, Queen Victoria created him Baron Tennyson. So Tennyson got the Baron title through Queen Victoria. His first publication was a collection of poems with his elder brother Charles, entitled Poems by Two Brothers, which was published in 1827. Tennyson published his first solo collection of poems titled Poems Chiefly Lyrical in 1830. So his solo collection appeared in 1830. Henry Van Dyke says about Tennyson. Tennyson is one of the great poets, great in the clarity and the beauty and nobility of his style, great in the breadth of his human sympathy, great in the truth with which he has expressed the hopes and fears of this century, great above all in the faith with which he has voiced the great reaction out of the heart of a doubting age towards the Christianity of Christ and the trust in immortal love, says Henry Van Dyke. Now George Sainsbury says, no age of poetry can be called the age of one man with such critical accuracy as the late 19th century is with us, the age of Tennyson, says George Sainsbury. Now let's have a look at some of the best known poems written by Tennyson. Break, 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 Mariana, Claribel, the Charge of the Light Brigade, Tears, Idle Tears, Crossing the Bar, Ulysses, In Memoriam AHH. Virginia Woolf wrote a play called Fresh Water, showing Tennyson as host to his friends Julia Margaret Cameron and G.F. Watts. So the play written by Virginia Woolf is titled Fresh Water. Tennyson used a wide range of subject matter, ranging from medieval legends to classical myths and from domestic situations to observations of nature. In a characteristically Victorian manner, Tennyson combines a deep interest in contemporary science with an unorthodox, even idiosyncratic Christian belief. Tennyson's early poetry, with its medievalism and a powerful visual imagery, was a major influence on the pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. His son's biography, that means the biography of Tennyson, was written by his son, and one of his biographies confirms that Tennyson was an unorthodox Christian. Tennyson had a great talent in writing plays as well. He wrote a series of historical verse plays such as Harold, Queen Mary, and Becket. And Tennyson's work that is titled The Foresters, published in 1891, is a play about the Robin Hood legend. And the work Capullane is a work published after his death by his son Hallam Tennyson. So Tennyson's son Hallam Tennyson posthumously published the work Capullane. Tennyson died of gout. Gout is a form of arthritis which is characterized by severe pain, redness, and tenderness in joints. Tennyson died of gout. Tennyson was buried at Westminster Abbey. His last words were, "Oh, that a press will have me now." Oh, that a press will have me now. Now look at the work written by Tennyson. Poems by two brothers, poems chiefly lyrical, the Palace of Art, the Lotus Eaters, the Lady of Shalott, Locksley Hall, the Charge of the Light Brigade, the Princess and Medley, Maud and Other Poems, Enoch Arden, the Tithonus, the Revenge, a Ballad of the Fleet, Becket, Crossing the Bar. Once more, poems by two brothers, poems chiefly lyrical, the Palace of Art, the Lotus Eaters, the Lady of Shalott, Locksley Hall, the Charge of the Light Brigade, the Princess and Medley, Maud and Other Poems, Enoch Arden, the Tithonus, the Revenge, a Ballad of the Fleet, Becket, Crossing the Bar, etc. That's all about the biography of the famous Victorian poet Alfred Lord Tennyson. In the next class, we will have our topic Samson Agonistes. Samson Agonistes.